Come on, Team Cowboys!
Angry Cowboys Fan, are you down to rock?
Forget all that. All right, Cowboys Nation, we about to skip the formalities and just get right into this Raw and Uncut. Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys Fans Raw and Uncut.
Keeping it real, man. Keep it real. That's real.
All right, Cowboys Nation. As most of y'all have seen and heard, Micah Parsons has officially put out a statement requesting a trade from the Dallas Cowboys, and it has a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans up in arms. Since the start of this channel, fans have asked when they would see the anger out of the Angry Cowboys Fan. Well, this type of move from Jerry and Stephen Jones, August 1st, 2025 is going to be that day. So y'all ready for this Raw and Uncut? Are you sure? Viewer discretion is advised. You see, Cowboys Nation, I went to the hospital this morning. I had to do a stress test. I had to get a stress test conducted. After losing my brother, I just want to cross my T's and dot my I's, just to make sure I have a clean bill of health. I get home and I see Jay Tuck's live. So I go to Jay Tuck's live. I actually see his thumbnail first, and I immediately said, what the hell? I immediately got stressed after my stress test. But this is why I make the videos about Jerry and Stephen Jones and the bullshit that this front office puts their players through. What they put this fan base through. The continued ups and downs when it comes to the players on the Dallas Cowboys team throughout the years. Not just this year, but throughout the years since Jerry Jones has acquired this team. The continued contract negotiations in the media, dragging the guys that are going out on the field to try and bring this team a motherfucking championship is nasty work, and I will never be a fan of it. But I know I'm going to get in the comment section from some in Cowboys Nation. No one's bigger than the star, Angry. The question I have for those fans, does that include the owner/GM, Jerry Jones, and the Jones family? Because for the last 30 years, Jerry has been bigger than the star and has been one of the main reasons why our Dallas Cowboys hasn't been successful. When he feels that a player or a coach is outshining him or getting more attention than him, it's automatically the player or coach being bigger than the star. Was Jimmy Johnson bigger than the star, or was it the fact that Jerry Jones's ego got in the way? Also, did fans say that Jimmy Johnson was bigger than the star, or no one's bigger than the star when Jimmy Johnson walked out of the front door? Let me guess. Micah and Jimmy are two different scenarios. They're two different people with two different situations. Well, if you strip it all the way down to the bare bones of a Cowboys Nation, you will get the same ego-driven front office in both situations. But you see, Dallas Cowboys fans, the reason why a lot of Cowboys fans are pissed off is because we get close, but the front office has to do something to push us further back. Like I said in the previous video, 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. So close with Des Bryant. Shipped out because he was outspoken. We were so close with Amari Cooper. Shipped out for one reason or another. People want to compare trading Micah Parsons to the Herschel Walker trade because it worked out for our Dallas Cowboys back then. How many trades worked out for us recently? Can you name them? I bet I can count on my fucking hand how many worked out for us. I know trading Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns did absolutely nothing for this team. It actually set us back a little bit if you want to be honest about it, Cowboys Nation. But now Jerry and Stephen Jones has their best defensive player requesting a trade when we still can't stop the damn run. We need as many defensive juggernauts on this team as we possibly can get. But Cowboys Nation, I remember Zack Martin was going through some similar situations with his contract negotiations, and he held out. Jerry Jones went on record saying that they had to have more money for future contracts like Micah Parsons. Was that a lie? But the thing is, Cowboys Nation, this fan base is getting fed up with being lied to right to their faces. Lied to by all these millionaires and billionaires that run this damn team. Lying straight to our faces and expecting us to just take it Diddy style with no baby oil. I want to read an article from Bleacher Report back from 2023, I believe, where Jerry Jones tells why he couldn't pay Zack Martin. Let's go to the split screen. All right, Cowboys Nation, we are over here on Bleacher Report. This article, you see Zack Martin right there, but this article was written July 29th, 2023, almost 2 years to the day of Zack Martin having a contract issue and Jerry Jones saying that Parsons needs a little bit of money. You see that right there in the title. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article, and then we're going to get into a deep, raw, and uncut because Jerry Jones deserves it. But when asked by ESPN's Ed Warner why the Dallas Cowboys haven't taken quarterback Dak Prescott's advice to pay holdout guard Zack Martin, owner and GM Jerry Jones indicated that the team needed to leave room for future contracts, namely that of Micah Parsons. We got a guy out there, Parsons, who's going to need a little money, Jones said. Who's going to need a little money, Cowboys Nation. They had Zack Martin holding out because they had to hold money because they wanted to pay their future. They wanted to pay their edge rusher in Micah Parsons. They wanted to pay their generational talent. Now, 2 years later, when that time comes, they don't want to pay Micah? What's going on here, Cowboys Nation? Let's go ahead and get back to the full screen. But you see, Cowboys Nation, you see how the Jones family tells the media something in order to get the heat off of a current situation? Oh, they need to save a little bit of money so that they can pay Micah Parsons. One of the reasons why we couldn't acquire Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry because we had major contracts coming up. Well, Cowboys Nation, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. We could have acquired one of those players, but it all boils down to the owner being cheap. And this whole narrative about players thinking that they're bigger than the star, this has absolutely nothing to do with a player thinking that they're bigger than the star. It's about a player looking for long-term security when it comes to putting their body on the line day in and day out. Sure, Micah Parsons is under contract, but every fan, every player, every GM, and every owner understands that the quicker you get these contracts done, the cheaper it is in the long run. Yes, they eventually signed Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, but try to calculate the losses that they took in order to watch the leaves fall, in order to watch the foliage. They could have saved millions by getting those contracts done earlier. Let me guess. It takes two to tango, right, Cowboys Nation? But ask yourself this. After Micah Parsons' agent got involved, did contract negotiations ramp up or did they go down? Jerry expected Micah Parsons to go against the person he hired to handle his damn contracts in order for Jerry to get his hometown discount. What, Cowboys Nation? Now Jerry's mad because Micah wants to handle things on the up and up? I will say this, though. Micah should have never opened the door to talking with Jerry without his agent. He did that, and now here we are. But do you see how this type of thinking puts this team behind the 8 ball every single year, Cowboys Nation? The ownership complaining about the amount of pie the team has, but they love to wait until the players are extremely hungry before they try divvying up the pie. They wait to see the size pie other players and other teams are getting before they give their own players a slice of pie. I don't get this form of business, and I never will, Cowboys Nation, hence why I don't own a football franchise. But I'm going to keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation. I am team player until the day that I die. I will not cape for these owners. I will never sit up here and expect a player to take less from a multi-billion-dollar industry. I will never expect these players to swallow their individuality in order to tap dance for these people. I understand that players should respect their employer, but how many times will an employee put up with getting disrespected by their employer? How many press conferences does a player have to suffer through hearing the owner of the team he plays for putting him down and using his injury history against him? They got injured in the line of duty for your organization. Yes, playing football and putting their bodies on the line is what they signed up for, but the disrespect? That ain't what they signed up for. That's like saying a boss on a construction site has the right to cuss you out because, you know how construction sites go. You know how that atmosphere is. Hell nah, Cowboys Nation. You will respect me, and if you can't respect me and what I bring to this organization, I'm out the front damn door. But real talk, Cowboys Nation, I hope that this was a 4D chess move on Micah Parsons' part. I caught myself saying, well, maybe it's something like the Myles Garrett situation. Until I heard Boss Cowboy Sports talk. Those situations are light years apart. Myles Garrett wasn't continuously being disrespected in the media by the owner and GM of the Cleveland Browns. It was strictly about money. Micah Parsons' situation seems to be personal because of how Jerry and Stephen Jones has tried to circumvent Micah Parsons' agent as well as put him down because of his 4-game injury, as if Micah Parsons chose to get injured for 4 games. But this isn't being bigger than the star, Cowboys Nation. This is about being a Dallas Cowboys fan over anything else. This is not about, well, I was a Cowboys fan before Micah and I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboys fan after Micah. This is all about, when does this shit end, Cowboys Nation? When will Jerry and Stephen Jones stop jeopardizing this team with the contract games that they play? They have done this for decades, Cowboys Nation, and when is it going to stop? Where has it gotten this team? Divisional and done. Divisional and done. This doesn't have to do anything with money, Cowboys Nation. It has everything to do with respect, and this front office hasn't shown Micah the respect that his play has warranted. Would anyone who's watching this video allow their employer to go to the media and talk negatively about him? Hell no, you wouldn't, and I wouldn't expect you to. Also, you mean to tell me that this type of shit doesn't mess with a player's mental? That it doesn't screw with his confidence within himself or the team? That it doesn't screw up the morale of the locker room? On top of that, you don't think that this doesn't create a rift in the locker room, because it damn sure created a rift in Cowboys Nation, and if it created a rift in Cowboys Nation, what the hell do you think that it does to the players when they're looking to get their money next year? Do they have to look forward to getting dragged through the mud when it's their time to negotiate? Will Tyler Smith have to defend his name and his honor to the press because Jerry and Steven decided to disrespect him during a press conference? This is bigger than football, Cowboys Nation. This is bigger than the X's and O's. It's not shut up and play, Cowboys Nation. These individuals are individuals at the end of the day. What this boils down to is, when does the bullshit end, Cowboys Nation? When will this Cowboys organization try doing business differently, because the way that they've been doing it has netted us It has netted us 0 Super Bowl appearances in 30 years. It has netted us 0 NFC championship games within the last 30 years. Continuously doing the same old shit has netted this team the same old shit, Cowboys Nation. Divisional and done. But people come up with these excuses for Jerry and Stephen Jones and their inability to conduct proper business with these players. Ever since the salary cap was implemented, the front office has pulled out the stops in order to get these men at cheaper prices. It's kind of like the front office continuously planting drugs in a player's car and then snitching on them to the media. These players are more than just a number, Cowboys Nation. They're more than just a position, especially when said player is a generational talent. But I'm gonna keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation. I'm with Micah Parsons in this situation. Everybody complained about his podcast and the fact if he was a leader or not. Brother hasn't had a damn podcast since the 2025 NFL draft. People complaining about him being a leader for the team. He goes to bat for the players on his team, and honestly, he does a little too much. But what do y'all want him to do? Tap dance and say yes, I'm ass all the goddamn time? Should these players accept every lowball offer that Jerry and Steven give them just to be Dallas Cowboys? Hell no. Micah Parsons, if the organization won't put that same effort that you put in on the field, then I believe that you should go to another team. I believe that you should go to a team where your talent is actually valued. Will I be a Dallas Cowboys fan afterwards? Of course I will. I'm DC for life. But I will tell you this, Cowboys Nation. Not every Dallas Cowboys fan is like me, and they will walk from this team. To keep it a bundle, this team is only as popular as the fan base allows it to be. Y'all really think a rival fan base will fill up the stadium the way they fill it up by Cowboys fans? I highly doubt it, Cowboys Nation. You think that a rival fan base is gonna buy a $125 Dallas Cowboys jersey? I don't think so. Will rival fan bases fill the stands in Oxnard? No, Cowboys Nation. And a part of me kind of knew, Cowboys Nation. I knew that some dumb shit was happening. Things were going smoothly after the hire of Brian Schottenheimer. It was just a matter of time until the Jones boys threw a monkey wrench into the damn plans and casted a shadow over the fan base's hopes and dreams. Before they acquired George Pickens, Cowboys Nation was pumping that hashtag fire the GM, Jerry. They were pumping it on social media. They pacified us with the George Pickens trade, and most of Cowboys Nation stopped holding Jerry and Steven accountable. I'm sorry, Cowboys Nation, but it's time to put our feet back on the gas and not let up until this front office gets their fucking act together. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you feel about today's events? How do you feel about Micah Parsons putting his quote out saying that he wants a trade from the Dallas Cowboys? What do you feel about the negotiation process when it comes to the front office of our team? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help the channel chip away at 20K, drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are D-Steve for life and you can't stand the way that Jerry and Stephen Jones have conducted business for the past 30 years and you stand behind Micah Parsons, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdowns, or Madden 25 or College Football 26 gameplay. Cowboys Nation, this is the Angry Cowboys Fan. I apologize for my language in this video, but this shit right here has got me frustrated. I left a stress test only to come home to be stressed out by my Dallas Cowboys. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, it's gonna be all right. And I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.